Hello guys, it's ScherBR talking, and well, in today's video let's give a look on the new characters released. There's 4 characters with the summer theme, and it's Lenneth, Hrist, Silmeria and Ingrid. But are they good? Are they worth? Well, this is a tough question. No, exactly, it's a very easy question. Most characters are not worth your time, unfortunately. But if you like the characters, the visual of them, you can just summon because, well, no one's stopping you. If you like the character, there's no reason for you not to summon. But, well, let's just click here on Divine Weapon traits so we can talk more of these characters. The first thing that we need to talk about this banner is that the 3 Valkyries are limited. Very limited. They only stay for 3 days for you to summon. Lenneth ends on 28, Hrist on 30, and then Silmeria on 1 of August. And then there's Ingrid that will stay for 1 whole week. I don't know why no one cares about Ingrid. But okay, that's how they will plan their summons. But the first thing we need to see is just that all these characters have plus damage of 1200 damage on this event, and also gain more drops of this golden fruit. But this is not a good event for farming. You can all the items that you can get from this event are not that important. They just have the Ember, they have a new weapon, but they don't have Yggdrasil branch, they don't have silver or gold bangle, they don't have nothing of that much value for you to farm. You can skip most items from this event. You can check my other video talking about this stuff, and most items here can be skippable. The good things you can get, you can just farm with all these characters. So okay, we can just go back here again to Divine Weapon, and just talk about some more stuff. Besides the character that you're summoning, you also have a chance to get a talisman. Yes, the talisman you can check by clicking on drop rates. There's 1% chance to get the character, and 1% chance to get the sword talisman on each pool you do. All these pools are shared among themselves because they all use the same type of support ticket. We can check this by clicking on exchange booth and clicking on the first image. You can see that this summer festival ticket is the same that it will be shared among all 4 summon events. But like you see, there's only the artifact from Lenneth so far because the Hrist banner is not activated yet. Once it does, I do think that it will just appear here, and you can use any of the support tickets on the 4 summon to get these characters. But actually, if you don't summon for these characters on their timed banners, you will only be able to get them by you going here to this exchange booth and summoning for Ingrid. You understand? The banner itself, the whole event itself will remain like it says here for 20 days. But the only way to get the Summer Lenneth after her banner is over is by getting 10 of the super tickets and getting here in exchange for it. Okay, so besides this, there's also this chance of getting a sword talisman. And if you don't get it by summoning, you can also trade for 1 here, and it will cost you 1 of the support tickets. But you can get only 1 of it. You see 1 of the sword, the great sword, bow, and staff. So by doing 4 summons you can get each one of them, but will also make you far from getting one guarantee artifact from here. Okay, so let's get back again from the Divine Weapon. If you don't know exactly what works, what's used the talisman, well, I will explain you, and I can just click here on Thor to do this. Let's go to Potential Force, and when we click on the Great Lock that increases the number of attacks, you can see that the Yggdrasil branch is used for this, or the Bow Talisman. So all characters that have timed releases or are from Valhalla South that you can get for Odin coins, they will use the Bow Talisman as a second option to get more attacks. This one is Bow Talisman. If the character uses Sword, it will be a Sword Talisman, and so on. Okay, so that's why these talisman are useful for timed characters in Valhalla South events. Okay, let's get back here again, back to Divine Weapon, and now we need to talk about the characters themselves. Well, these characters have something good, but most of the things about them are not that good. And now I try to explain you why. Like I said, if the characters is something that you like, just summon for it. I'm not trying to tell you not to summon, but I'm just trying to do some analysis here. And this Lenneth here, you can see that she's has same status, somewhat a little after Hakure, and the status are a little better than Hakure, but that's just that. You can see that she has 3 skills, but the first one is called the Mystic Sense and says that it greatly increases attack and critical hit damage. But we have the information here from Japan, and it says that the increase is only 25%, not 36% like most characters that were released recently. But it also increases critical hit damage, so that's very good. And her second skill is called Improve Critical Hit Rate for all allies and gain extra attacks on certain turns. This is very good. Well, we don't have the current value for this because in Japan there was no information about this. But improving the critical hit rate is very worth when you're using characters like Sina or Leon or Rebecca or just Alicia and Tyla that uses critical hit to heal. Especially Leon, because Leon is also from the lightning element and she really needs more critical hit chances because she can increase it by using passive skills. Just by using weapons and other stuff or her limited skill. So this is the most unique thing about these 4 characters. So this is the only real reason for you to get any of these summary cards. Like I said, the only real reason. The other stuff will be outclassed, and this is the only thing that's quite unique about this character. So we also have the third skill called Vigor Chance, and increases the Purification Gauge when you defeat an enemy. It's the same stuff as from Hakure and Lizard Valet. So just easier for you to farm, but not exactly the best thing that you could get to defeat bosses and challenges. Okay, so like I said, all these characters from this banner also has 200% bonus damage. It will just make it way easier because the bosses of this event have a lot of HP and they can take a lot of time for you to defeat, but they're not exactly required to clear the stuff. I just cleared everything without these characters at all. Okay, so also you have to see that this character is not non-elemental. She's from lightning element. And you can see here by the Splash Thunder is her limited skill and increases normal attack of lightning element for 2 turns. It doesn't say how much is the cooldown, but it's 4 turns, so half of the time she'll be doing more damage with lightning attacks. So you just need to equip a lightning type of sword for it to be fully used. Okay, so she has a purification attack called Nibilang Valesi. It's the same, a little different, I could say. It's very beautiful, I could say also. Just like her armor. The armor of these characters are not just so sensual. They kind of made it beautiful without being appellative. So we need only to talk about her unique orb, and her unique orb is from the E activate, so she's a first generation character. And she has increase of attack and damage dealt by lightning attacks. We can say that this increase is just around 24% for attack and 30% for lightning damage. It kinda makes a difference. It's just like getting a 54 increasing damage when the enemy is not resistant to lightning. Okay, so the orb is just a lot of increase. Now we'll just have to talk about Hrist. And Hrist, her status are very average for the Greatsword type. Very similar to also Frey, well, I could say, but she's also from the lightning element. She's not from dark. All these 3 Valkyries are from the lightning element. So besides giving, she has 3 normal skills. The first one increases attack on start of each turn, and it's exactly like Rage. It's not better than Rage, not worse than Rage, so not that important or good. The second one is called Fascination Body, and it greatly increases defense and draws more enemy attacks. So the information I had here from Japan is just that it greatly increases defense. The increase in defense is just around 30% when on full level 5. Okay, so not that much, but still good because of the chance to draw more enemy attacks. But it's not defense and magic defense, just like Arnegreen. Arnegreen just does way better than this. But Arnegreen needs his orb. This Hrist can do this without the orb, okay? The last skill is called Lower Chance of Being Blind, Frozen, Sealed. I just don't care about this stuff because, well, she kind of draws more attacks and she will be more afflicted with debuffs, but this is not that important. We can just debuff now with a lot of limited skills. We were talking about this on another day, but like you see, she's just waste 1 slot because of this. And here, limited skill is just to increase the lightning action skill damage. So only the damage that's coming from a lightning type sword, great sword, on the 3rd turn onwards and only once per battle. It's very specific. She really needs a great sword from the lightning element. We don't even have one very good right now. So this kind of limits her even more. She also uses the Limbiling Velocity, and let's give a look at her. Unicorn, and she just increases attack and more damage with lightning attacks. The same stuff as Lenneth, but the increase is different. While Lenneth increases a total of 54%, hers only increases 36%. So because she's more defensive, her orb is also more defensive, but just increases way less damage. Now we just have to give a look on Silmeria. And Silmeria is on a bad place because she's a bolt type user. Again, from the lightning element, we already have Odin, we already have Maximilian. Who else do we have? I'm not so sure right now, maybe I'm forgetting something. But her stats are just average. She kind of has a little more defense for a bolt type user than some other archers, but not so much more. Her HP is also around 5k%. 5k HP, sorry. And let's just give a look at her skills. Her Enchant Spirit increases mag at the start of each turn, so that's kind of bad because she's a bow user. She needed to increase both attack and mag, just like Merge does. Even Abel does that. She only increases mag. And you can see that the information about this buff is kind of interesting. She increases 15% per turn. Abel can increase to 18%, so he increases more, and he also increases attack. So this kind of makes her a little bad. The second skill increases mag, defense, and attack. You see, and now she increases attack. And the information here is just that increases 18% of both attack and mag defense. It's not that high value, and it's also mixed attack with defense. It's very strange. Now she has the last one, it's called electric charging, and increases damage using lightning action skills. So it's the same as Hrist, but not that limited because it's same as limited skill. You can just activate it. In Hrist's case, you need to activate it by using limited skill, and in Silmeria case, it's passive stuff that you can always increase the damage when using lightning action skills. It's very like I said, is restricted only when dealing with lightning action skills. At least there's a lot of bolts with the lightning element. This event also gives one. There's Roshways that also uses the lightning element, and this could just work for people with the Roshways. But the increases is electric charging, and increase is around 30% increase. It's a very high number for increasing in actual skill damage, so this kind of makes up for the other skills not being that strong. Okay, and now she has the magic secret, is her limited skill, and it increases the purification gouge. She sacrifices one purification gouge to get 3 turns of increasing mag for all characters. There's no information about this, we don't really know how much she increases, but it's only magic. I can't say much about this stuff. Usually when it's limited skill, it's around 10 or 20%. I can be sure of this. Now we just have to look on her unicorn, and it says that increases, let me see, greatly increases attack, mag, and damage dealt by lightning attacks. So she's the only one that gets the greatly increases. Oh, Lenneth as well. Lenneth gets greatly increased, hers only increase. And in Silmeria case, greatly increases means, let me see here, 32% increase. When it equals 64 increase, it's very high, it's even higher than Lenneth. She kind of really needs her orb to do more damage. So that's kind of bad because she's kind of limited to use that. Hers doesn't really need her orb because she's more of a tank that draws more enemy attacks. She doesn't really need to do damage. But in case of Silmeria, it's kind of very important to have her orb, and Lenneth average to very important to have. Now there's this only left character is Ingrid, and Ingrid is on a very strange place. She's the only character that's not from lightning. She's dark. She also gets the part skill called Dark Dance. All part skill from all these characters are not that important. She just have a very average level of everything here. Her physical attack is very average on 1.2k, and her physical defense is lower than most great sword characters from Gacha. Well, let's just give a look on her skills. She has Berserker Tension that increases attack on start of each turn, and this is like Hage. And we just see here that it's only 5% per turn. It's not that much. Berserk Tension is different. There's information here. It's 10% on level 5. 10% for each turn. It's just a little better than Rage, not much better. And then there's Icebreaker that greatly increases damage dealt to frozen enemies. Well, Icebreaker is just useless because bosses can be they can be frozen. No boss can be frozen at all. So why have this? Just like having Odin that deals more damage to paralyzed enemies when most enemies can be paralyzed. So that's it. She also has the increase in damage. Let me just tell you guys, it's 25% increase. So very marginal for something that won't ever happen most of the time. And then the last skill is called Somersault and recover HP upon defeating an enemy. This skill is the same as her story version, and it's just possible because it just makes your farming easier, but not exactly makes her better when using. If you have a character that has a better skill, you always choose the other character instead of Ingrid. And well, let's just talk about her limited skill. For 2 turns, her own attacks will gain a chance to freeze an enemy performing a normal attack. So she just gets more chance to freeze people because she doesn't have a natural chance to do this. She would need to activate her limited skills to be able to frozen enemies. If she froze the enemies, she will get just 25% increase in damage. It's just possible, guys. She's not good. She doesn't have a reason for you to summon. And her purification attack is from physical damage. All other characters are all lightning damage. You can see they all are from the lightning element. Ingrid won't have plus damage on the event. You can see here there's no plus damage. Only the Valkyries have it. Because the Valkyries are actually for the second event itself. The Ingrid is not from the second, it's from the first. If I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so now just give a look on the skills from Ingrid. And Ingrid have E-activate just like the other Valkyries, but she greatly increases attack and damage dealt by lightning attacks. So the information here says that the increase is based on 34%. It's very high as well, so an increase of 68% on dark attacks. The orb is very important to have if you want this if you want this Ingrid. I don't know why you want this Ingrid here, but if you do, that's what you get by having her orb. Okay, so guys, this kind of finished this. This is not a review, it's just an overview because I can't test these characters. This is all information that's public, some information I got from a spreadsheet that is on Discord, based on information from Japan, and I just hope this can help you guys. Hrist can be used, she has a reason to be used. Lenneth could have a reason to be used because of this party skill that increases critical chance. But Silmeria and Ingrid, not much reason for you to summon for these characters or just use them at all, okay? Thanks for watching this video so far, please subscribe if you haven't, and we see each other on the next video. Bye.